Hello, friends. It is November 16th. It's a Sunday, and this is my Flosstube number 154. I am in my office today because I just felt like doing something a little different. So I'm standing. I hope that you can hear me. I didn't get any comments in the last video that you couldn't hear me, so I don't know. Anyway, I 2 weekends ago took the entire day on Sunday and finished Frost Christmas ornaments. So I'm going to show you all of those today. Updates: I was in Philly for work last weekend. I worked the Special Olympics. It was so fun. But on the way there, I was in a car accident on the turnpike. Somebody in a construction zone ran a stop sign and hit my car like this, and then I hit a Jersey barrier. I was very luckily not hurt. Very shaken up, very stressed out, very tired, but I didn't die. So my car is getting fixed, and then I have to decide if I'm going to trade it in and buy a new one. And if I do, that's really going to change travel plans for next year. I had a couple trips planned. I probably, if I have a car payment, will not be doing those. Happy 40th birthday to me early, you know. Fra's birthday party is in April, and it's really coming together. This week I did some fun planning, so it feels like it's definitely happening now. Work, it is finally the time of year where it starts to slow down a little bit. I saw the cardiologist last week. It went well. I'm good for another 5,000 miles. There's some stuff I need to look out for. The same stuff I always need to look out for, so just have to pay attention. So, you know, life is good. I got a haircut, but it's up today because we have had snow squalls and rain and hail and wind, and when I am done this, I am sitting myself down in my chair and I'm doing nothing but stitching until I have to get up to make dinner. And then I'm going to just come back up here and stitch some more because I just don't feel like being in the living room. I just want to be cozy. So anyway, I hope that everyone is well. And on that note, let's look at some ornaments. So I made a reel on Instagram, R-E-E-L, reel. Like not art, anyway. And let me just tell you how long it took because I made a video. So I had to, like, with one hand put the ornament down, let the camera take the, like, video it, and then with my other hand pick it up. And while it was doing that, I had to, like, there was a lot. My brain doesn't work that way. I have a lot of trouble with, like, when you're doing like exercise and they're like, okay, so kick your feet and lift your arms. I cannot, my brain, it's not good at that. So anyway, Fra's ornaments this year are a little bit of a hodgepodge. I pulled out all of the supplies that I've collected over the years and I just used everything I had. They took me, I finished 22 of the 23 because let me tell you, I finished and I found one that I had cleaned everything up, and I found one that I hadn't finished, and I was like, well, that's it. That feels like a next year problem. Because like you get to the point where you're like, well, what if I just throw everything away and if I never cross stitch again? So anyway, would you like to see 22 Christmas ornaments? So these are the two. She gets 20. These are the two she didn't like that I'm keeping. So I'm keeping the gingerbread people. And I am keeping this little blue house. She did not like them because they were a dark fabric. She's quite particular. She knows what she likes. And then these are hers. So this one, and then sadly upside down fabric because I'm not perfect. I love this little like chalet. Fabric is not upside down. Yay. Then there's this one. It fit just fit. And then I backed it with some felt. And then this one, I used every last one of these that I had. And now there's one on the floor. I will get that in a second. Another one. I knew she would love this one, but I don't think it's the one she's keeping. I wish it was. I really like this one. The Cardinals. And I just cut a back for that. It's just cardboard. Birdhouses. I wanted to keep this one. Do you notice I put the heart with the hot chocolate? These are a few of my favorite things. So this is actually the frame that I had for like a little Disney princess ornament from like 20 years ago that I've never done. So I just pulled the frame out. Little truck. This little house. Just a little silver there, and then felt. Presents, and then the fabric, believe it or not, matches the presents. If you could have seen the mess when I was doing this, the mess, oh my gosh, the mess was wild. It looked like a bomb had gone off. This very bright fabric with the house, and then very plain backing fabric. And then this cute little house, and then I had the ribbon already. 3 trees with some glue, and then just this crystal here, and then the back is that same plain fabric. This is actually just a piece of cardboard that's like a tag that I just thought was perfect. So there's a little tiny blue house. This was the first one I did, and when I almost gave up because it looked terrible. But it's funny what a little bit of glue and a bead of some variety will fix. And then there's this one. Just some felt on the back. And this one just barely fit. So those are Frost ornaments for this year. All right, I'm going to clean those up. I will be right back. Now, I think I've told you that next year I'm knitting Frost ornaments because this year in particular, it felt really difficult. Whoa. Sorry, my computer needs to restart. Shocker. It felt really difficult to get them done this year. I'm just throwing stuff on the floor. This is why I don't stand for Flosstube. Hold on. Anyway, so I did have a big finish. I'm very excited. This is the time of year that I kind of go through the whips and I'm like, what can I finish before the end of the year? Because when I saw my whip number of like 32 or 33, I was like, Katie, because I started the year with 26 whips. So that means I have 5 or 6-ish new whips. Now I have finished 66 things. Now I will acknowledge 22 of those were Frost ornaments and they're very small, but that's still 22 finishes. 23 if you count the one that I didn't fully finish. So anyway, I went through and I was like, what's fairly close? And I thought, I think this is pretty close. I think I have the whole border done in one of the angels. That was not true. I didn't even have the whole border finished because I'm doing all 3 of these together. I thought that I had them all done because I had recharted them into Pattern Keeper. And the 3rd angel, I had a lot of trouble recharting. And so much trouble recharting it, in fact, that I thought I was stitching. But no, in fact, I was recharting. And it's actually when I stopped recharting things. If it's too complicated for me to have it not in Pattern Keeper, but they don't have a digital version, I just don't do it. So anyway, I pulled that out. I used Vanna Pfeiffer's, she did an Chelsea's Deo. I don't know if you'll be able to get that from her. If you have her email address, I'm sure she would send it to you. I don't actually know. I talked to her about a week ago. But but I don't know if she would be willing to do that. I'm sure she'll be back at some point. Anyway, I finally finished. Now it's got a crease in it. It's not perfect. I used a 32 count black Zweigart and the called for DMC over 1, and the letters at the over 2 with 1 thread, and the letters at the bottom are over 1. So here it is. You can see me. Hang on. Just so happens that my planner is black. So here it is. Third time's the charm. Here it is. Nope. Wow. There we go. So there it is. The letters, I think, are just beautiful. This with the fruit, the angels with the fruit, that's the one I had trouble recharting, and I had trouble stitching it also. So not perfect, but we'll do. The middle angel, love her, she's pretty perfect. Third angel, don't know what happened, but we just kept going. I really want to get these framed at Hobby Lobby. I really want to do it for Christmas. We shall see. But yeah, yay for this is a lot more stitches than you think it is. There's a lot of shading and color changes. It's beautiful. I really like it. So I actually started that. Oh dear. I started that 3/17 of 24, and I finished it around Halloween-ish. No, I finished it the day I went to Philly, so I finished it a week ago, right? When did I finish that? Hang on, I think it must have been last week. So since the accident, which was a week ago, Friday, I am just like, yeah, I finished it November 7th. So it was only a week ago. It feels like weeks have been since that happened. So anyway, that is a very big finish that I would love to get framed. We'll see. My framing budget might be going towards other things. So before I finished that, I did have a new start, and that is the Stony Creek Halloween Afghan. I am doing mine on a 20 count Lugana over 2 with 4 strands of DMC full cross. And I have not gotten a ton done. These are the colors I have used thus far. So what I did was, instead of cutting the DMC into my normal lengths, I cut them so they're double that size, because the shorter strands were just taking, like, you would get like, I don't know, 30 stitches and it'd be time for a new floss again. So I'm using longer strands, partially so that I don't have to change thread so much, but also so the back looks, there's less likely for it to pull out. So anyway, here's the flosses. This is the DMC that glows in the dark. So I have no idea if it's actually going to glow, but I have been using it, and it's actually the easiest DMC weird thing I've ever used. So recommend. There's a lot of shading in this because it's Stony Clover. Oh, this is my pillowcase that I'm storing it in. This was a gift from one of my friends in one of the Carolinas. Which Carolina? Y'all, North and South Carolina, same place to me. But anyway, she made these beautiful pillowcases for the girlies who are doing the Halloween Afghan, which was so sweet of her. And that's where I'm storing it. And let me pull this out of the hoop so that you can see how much I have done, which is not much. So what I'm doing, I started in the upper left-hand corner, as I always do. And then the top row of purple, I am not fully crossing. I'm just doing every 10th stitch. I'm doing the full cross on, because then it makes it very easy to count from the top. So that's where I am so far. There is a bunch of back stitching in this section that I'm waiting to do until I haven't decided if I'm going to wait until I'm done or not. I am still working on this. I think definitely until Thanksgiving. It's really good living room stitching because it's so big and easy to see, and it's actually really warm to sit under it, so. And then like where I stopped and there's still the threads, that's just because I ran out of room in the hoop. I'm just using a small hoop. But like that pumpkin that I'm working on, that's 5 colors of orange so far. So I love it. So that is the whip that I've been working on downstairs, but not, like there's been a lot of mornings where I'm just too tired to stitch. I just kind of sit there. I will acknowledge. I don't know if it's the weather change, the time change, the heart meds, the heart issue that I'm having, or what, but I'm tired. Or work. Work has been very stressful. It's probably a little bit of that too. It doesn't matter. I'm tired. So anyway, when I'm up here and stitching, I have pulled back out 324, which is by Works by ABC, Arlene Cohen. And Steph and I are doing this together. She very kindly has cut all of the threads, so they're all in order, and I just have to follow her directions and go, go, go. And I'm actually, part of my Christmas gift from my friend Susie is when this is done, she's going to cut those floss cards down and put them in numerical order. So then next to my stitchy spot, I will just have in order these 324 DMCs, which is pretty close to all of them. I think there's like 365. So then I'll have almost a full length of each of those colors. So if you only need for like 28 stitches or something, you can pull it. Big news, yesterday I finally hit 50%. I have decided I want to finish this by the end of the year. That will not be easy because I thought I was, again, further along than I am, but I'm halfway there. I'm at like 51 or 52% now, so here it is. So let me show you my mistakes, of which there are many, but I did 2 colors in a row twice. Where is it? Oh, these are the same color. Not taking them out. This is 6x5 instead of 5x5. And this one is off by a single stitch this way. But if I didn't tell you, I don't think you would know. So I love it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's going to be my friend Tara's birthday gift next year. She has a very dark apartment, and I think that will really brighten it up. So I'm really excited to have that for her. I did the math, and if I wanted to get it done by the end of the month, I have to do 500 stitches a day. That's not going to happen. But I think I could probably get it done by like the 1st or 2nd week of December. So I'm just going to go gangbusters on it. I want to get it done. And there's something about hitting that 50% mark that like energizes you. So I have about 7,000 stitches left, which is a lot, but each little thing is like a little finish. And then every time you do something hard, there's those 25 stitches of that 5x5 block. That makes it much easier. So that helps. And so those are my whips, but I'm not done yet. I don't know if you remember, but 2 weeks ago when I filmed, I was sick and I had sang at Mass. Well, I woke up the next day with such a cough, and then I have not been able to get better. My nose won't stop running, the cough, I sang at Mass today, the cough, ugh. But that's okay. Oh, and when I was in Philly, I did do about 2 inches on this purple sweater. That looks like a big fat purple blob. And look this is why I don't like to wear purple. I look like Barney. And not in a good way. But anyway, I did get a little bit of knitting done. I've just been so like gangbusters about my cross stitch goals for the year that I'm like, knitting. Who wants to knit? Not me. All right. So, a little bit of haul. Some very fun haul. First off, I got myself this at Books A Million. Little wooden Christmas ornaments. So cute. It's just a little kit. There's enough to make 3. When I purchased it, I was like, oh, I'll do that for Fra. And then I remembered, no. Then my Christmas gift from Steph came, and it is my Stitchy planner for next year. And so that says, my soul is fed by needle and thread. I've never had like an actual, well, no, this year's was kind of a Stitchy calendar, but this is like intense. So, spoilers, if you're getting one for Christmas and don't want to see, pause or fast forward for a couple minutes, but here it is. And it came with a little loop and this cute pen. And then it's got a section right at the beginning to write out your goals. And then this is your year at a glance. So your stitch count, I do not keep that, so I won't use this page, but this is every day you stitched. And I'm actually kind of excited about that because I have never kept track of how many days never actually done it. So this year I will. This is your finish section. So there's room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. There's room for 36 finishes. And then this is all the room they gave you for whips. And that is 17. And I have 32. So I'm not going to use that report card. They have progress trackers. Again, not enough. They clearly don't know how many whips I have. So I'm going to have to use these bullet journal pages, and that'll turn into my whip pages. And then each month has a chart at the front. The colors are there, and it's on very nice paper. And then it has like a shopping list and stitch challenges. And then if you do them, there's like prizes that you can win from Creatively Stitching. There's a Stitcho board, a counting challenge, what's happening this month, calendar, progress. So I really love it. And then this is how they break up. So you do your goals for the month, and then this is a week. So every day you can write what you worked on, your notes, anything you want to say. So love that. Also, it's snowing again. And then let's see, I think, yes, there's resources at the back. So like an inventory for what stuff you have, your fabric, floss, etc. And then there's even room for drawing out patterns. And then there's all different, like there's even another draw a bobbin and win a minder. So like ways to win stuff. So I'm very excited for that. Now the problem is it's November and I want that to start right now. I hate waiting. But I'm very, very excited for this. Thank you so much, Steph. I can't wait to journal with you. I have to see, I think I have, so she sent some Frixion pens, but I'm going to see if I have like some crayons for the coloring. I think I do. So that's exciting. And then my plans for the rest of the year are to finish 324. I have to make a bird for my friend Susie's Christmas gift, so that'll just be another small framed bird. But there are 2 projects that I want to really focus on. So the first is I would love to finish the first of the Fabulous House series. So I've been working on Santa's house for over a year now. I am doing this on 40 count Bestitch Me. I want to say Stonehenge, but I could be wrong. So that's where I am. So like most of the white is in. The deer are in. It's really at this point the house. So I think that this is very doable to finish this house by the end of the year. After I finish 324. And then the other thing I want to work on is last year when I was very depressed at Christmas, because we can love Christmas and be depressed at the same time. I gave myself permission to start The Greatest Gift by Jan Lynn. I love this chart so much. I know it's not like the most in-depth chart, the most beautiful chart, but I love it. But I didn't get a ton done on it because Christmas. So my hope is to pull this out and get some work on it. So this is all I have done. Which is like, what is that? 3, 6, 10, several hundred, like probably about 1,000 stitches. So I mean, nothing to sneeze at, but we could do better. So anyway, those are my 2 projects that I'm hoping to work on between now and the end of the year. If I buy a new car, which is looking like I'm gonna, the purgatory that I had said that I was gonna have like a very low or no spend year unless I had gift certificates or like somebody gave me money. That'll definitely be happening because your girl does not like debt, so she'll be hoping to pay that off as fast as possible. But I have right now I have 31 whips. I would like to get it under 30 by the end of the year. We'll see if that happens. I'm trying to decide, should I do my whip parade before Christmas or should I do it the week I'm recovering from my procedure? Questions. You tell me, do you like them in January? Do you like them in December? I know how busy everybody is. The more I go through my whip list, the more I'm like, oh, there's a couple of these that it's time to say it's never going to happen. So things to think about. So anyway, I hope that you're all well. I will not see you again before Thanksgiving. I'm hoping to see you the weekend after Thanksgiving. I'm going to New Jersey with my grandmother to spend time with my family, so keep us in your happy travel thoughts. I hope you're all well. I want to thank you for being here and for your comments. I read them, even if I don't reply, they disappear on me and I'm just the worst. But know that I'm grateful and that I will talk to you soon, and thank you. Bye.